I saw some of Luis Diaz's shooting skills and I was like, उसका डैड को किडनैप करो वापस बहुत हरामी प्लेइंग करे
It was Kevin De Bruyne's corner that led to a John Stones goal in the
What
first
a
half
good
that opened the
goal.
scoring. And what
Dude, what was that pass?
What
this
a
is this
good
is
goal.
this is what I envy about City, right? And City this season have looked like they can give other teams a chance to get into the game. They've not looked as solid at the back as they usually look. Of course, when it comes to them going on the attack, they're one of the best teams in the world. But they've this season looked like a team that can ship goals. And in this game at Anfield, with the atmosphere that Anfield created, Liverpool were on the front foot throughout. Like Liverpool were pressing Man City. Man City didn't get a sniff in the game, but that one corner just changed things.
Yeah.
Because what a delivery, what a tactical masterclass. Ake pushing Mac Allister away and clearing the path for Stones to come in and make that finish at the near post.
Very clever.
And even the technical brilliance of that delivery to be such
So
a
smooth.
low-driven cross with just about edged on the touchline.
And also for it to be a player like Stones, right? It wasn't practiced with Haaland, who's probably marked a lot more seriously. But or even someone like a Kyle Walker, right? You would probably mark him, but somehow between John Stones and Bernardo Silva, like I feel like there are only two people who would be sort of in such set pieces, they will be mildly marked and not as strongly. So I thought it was very cleverly, it was perfect. It was a perfect person to push Mac Allister away. Because I think Darwin Núñez was left to mark John Stones. So, even Liverpool weren't taking that seriously. So I thought that was very, very clever. And in many ways, this game was also like the perfect mix of what a Klopp and Guardiola thing is, right? Like what the games are. Like, it was so good. It was so good to see that. I was really stunned by that. That was a very, very good goal. It felt like a good, like if you have to consider a goal, it's like, okay, it wasn't a blunder or it wasn't like you felt like, it's a good cheeky goal to let in. Like, hey, well played. It's like a thumbs up one.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have been this happy about it if there was no draw, by the way. I'm sounding damn sportive and all, but if we had lost 3 points, I'd be like, fucking Darwin Núñez.
But are you saying that 1 point with that Liverpool performance is something that you'll take?
No, obviously not. I do think, with that squad, I will take 1 point because it's that squad versus the City squad that's fucking, they got on Doku and I think Ruben Diaz was on the bench. Like, again, I keep telling people that this is what 115 charges means. Like, it's not just things on a document, right? It's like, look at the bench, dude.
Document.
Oh, man. Well done.
Come on. You have to.
Yeah.
That line was as good as a Kevin De Bruyne cross into John Stones. It was perfectly executed.
I think definitely with that squad, I think I was messaging a lot of Liverpool fan the fact that there was no Trent, Alisson, and Salah for the first half because he's a little injured, right? No Trent, Alisson, Salah. So I thought that was like I would have taken the 1 point, but I think after the way the team performed, even Jota, I think if Jota was there, it would have been a much different match. But yeah.
There's two interesting questions, right? And I wanted to bring up one of them. The first one is with Endo. So Ashwin has says that Ashwin040 says Endo is a class apart, draw is okay, but Liverpool had City gone in the second half.
Okay, sorry. I have to say this, right? I think in this game, Wataru Endo was a much better number 6 than Rodri. I think Wataru Endo bossed that midfield. There were times when it was 1 versus 3 and he was still winning the ball. He possessed, like, I think there was one statistic that said he didn't even do one long pass. I mean, he just kept it tight. He resisted that urge. He got the memo. And I think in this game, of course, everyone knows Rodri is probably the best midfielder. But I think in this game, the way Wataru Endo played, I think there were two Liverpool players who really surprised me. One is the centre-back Kwanzaa, Chorel Kwanzaa. I think Wataru Endo were incredible. It also makes me wonder, for the first time, Liverpool had such a solid midfield, right? Mac Allister, Wataru Endo and Dominic Szoboszlai. And I was like, oh my God, if we just had this 2 seasons ago, this sort of a proper midfield instead of just Henderson just hoofing it or whatever, how things would win. But I really thought on this day, and I don't know if you guys also thought that, but I just thought Endo was much better than Rodri. This was his game, obviously. It's not a statement. So good. Sensationally played.
I
Caught.
mean,
I I'll agree with the combo that you have a Mac Allister and Soboslai with Endo in it. It became a really great combo. I don't know if
I mean,
that
with
other
Liverpool,
combination
yeah.
otherwise would have. Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
But
I'm
I was
saying
also
Liverpool.
reading on the statistic that with Endo starting, Liverpool haven't really
I've never lost.
lost or like drew a game. Exactly. So I don't know if that is something that is again another Klopp thing where he just found like a really good a combination in the midfield.
I think he found a guy who's one thankful to be playing in his position, right? Who's not like no, wait. And I think it's a very big thing to find a player who's just like, thanks for giving me this opportunity, because he's also 30
Ah,
and he understands that. And of course, maybe like he's famously said, I'm 30, but my body is a little younger and all of that. But I also feel like he's a guy who's grateful to be in that position. And two, I think the lack of flair is really good. Like the lack of, I mean that in the because I think he can control his urges much better than any other player. Like the fact that in 90 minutes he didn't put one long pass, and I don't know if you noticed in the first half, Liverpool's entire strategy was like when the defenders would put the ball over the midfield. Correct?
yeah.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
means if that was a strategy given to the defenders, it was the instructions to the midfielders were very clear. That Endo and Mac Allister win the ball and do short passes, and Dominic Soboslai puts the crosses in and whatever and
Correct.
does the runs. Right? And like I said, any other younger talented midfielder, any player with a little more flair, any player from other parts of the world, the South American part of the world, they would have tried one cheeky long pass. But this guy shut it down, won the ball, did short passes. I think that to me was excellent. Like, oh, I was so impressed with him. I was so impressed.
I mean, yeah, I do agree. Like, Endo
And
has been a fantastic signing for Liverpool.
yeah,
As far as emergency signings to cover
yeah, yeah,
injuries
yeah, yeah,
go,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Wataru Endo has been a phenomenal signing for
yeah.
Liverpool.
In
Completely
a
agree.
way, in a very niche way, you would call him the signing of the season. You know what I'm trying to say? In this very weird way, like as a way of to be like the most unexpected. You know what I'm trying to say? If there was a category called the unexpected signing of the season or like the surprise of the season, maybe surprise of the season would be him, because to outperform Rodri is not an easy thing, especially in the current form Rodri is in. I thought he
Bro,
was much better than Rodri.
you're creating award categories like Tottenham
Yeah.
fans creating like
I'm like Z
if there
Series
was
Stardust.
if there was a Premier League for not letting Arsenal win the Premier League, we would have won that Premier League. Like, chup beto yaar.
Oh,
Another player, by the way, that actually kind of stood out for me, but also there's one more question. Arbin R pointed this out as well. He's saying, what is Luis Diaz?
What is Luis Diaz? I
Come
mean,
on.
yeah,
That 60th to 65th minute, I don't know, that 5 minutes of gameplay where he just
Rodri was on the
bombarded with
floor.
those shots.
And also, Rodri
Fucking
was on the
hell.
floor. Kyle Walker was trying to catch up with him. That burst of
Yeah.
energy. Oh my God. See,
I really
okay, I'll tell you
thought
what.
that Liverpool had that. In those
Yeah,
5 minutes,
I
I really
really
thought
had it.
Liverpool had that game.
See, I saw some of his butt. I saw some of Luis Diaz's
You saw his
shooting skills.
butt.
No. I saw some of his shooting skills.
but
And I was like, उसका डैड को किडनैप करो वापस बहुत हरामी फिल्म करो I was like, dude, because it kept cutting
Oh
to
my
his
God.
dad every time he missed a shot, and I was a little bit, fucking get that motivation back, you little shit. Because he was so good on the wings, but when he was in the box, he was shit. And so he has this thing that he will not shoot with his left foot, or whichever is weaker foot, I think it's his left foot. That he will not shoot with it. And I'm like, oh my God, that meant an extra touch always. And that really, because Liverpool were like really piss poor with their finishing, right? And that's what I'm saying. If there was a Jota up front, or there's that sensational pass from Salah at some point in the second half that Luis Diaz just could not put it in. And I was really disappointed with that. But yeah.
so wait, are you trying to say that when Luis Diaz is on the wings, like his dad should be fine in the stand, but as soon as he cuts into the
These two
center,
guns pop up from the side. And if he scores, the guns go out. And if he doesn't score, the guns just stay there. And they come closer and closer and closer. And until the point the finger and the trigger reach the frame. That's when you know he better fucking like get a shot inside the goal and not just a shot on target. Oh man, he was so
yeah,
good on the wings, but so shitty inside the box. What did you guys think of
Yeah.
him dropping like Rodri and Kyle Walker on the floor? Like Natu, he won the ball at the Liverpool mid box at the edge of the big D, and he took
So-
it till the other end while these two were chasing him. My God, that was so good.
Yeah. So my honest opinion on that was nobody gives a fuck because we're not Liverpool fans. So enough about this shit. I want to talk about the
Sad.
the reason why I'm being so blunt is because I want to go on to the next point, which is also in your favor, bastard. Doku's challenge on Mac Allister. That should have been a penalty.
Yeah.
That's what
Guys, again, huh?
Ducks landed up asking the same thing. You think do you still think that Man City can win their fourth title, and was the Doku challenge a
Oh my
penalty?
God, guys.
Do I still think? I mean, yes and yes. I think the answer to both those questions
Man
is
City might
yes,
win, yeah.
because there is no world where Man City cannot win the title unless it is mathematically impossible for them to win the title. And I feel like they're a team where it won't be mathematically impossible for them to win the title
Because
till the
they
last
are the
game of the season. Like,
Gryffindor
they're
of
just that good.
Dumbledore or some. They'll come from somewhere and give them points.
Yeah. And of course, that
The Doku
Doku
challenge,
was a penalty. It's a high boot, man. Like, it's so simple. It's a high boot. And like Klopp said, anywhere else on the pitch, that's a foul and possibly even a yellow card. So why is that not given in the box? Interesting choice of words from Klopp, though, because he said he goes for the ball and that's fine, but he doesn't get the ball and he kills him.
Yeah. Guys, come on. That was terribly and I don't know why they didn't give it. Like, it was not even a time issue because the game was done. It was just one kick and the game was done.
I think it's because 115 charges for some reason numerologically do not make sense. So somebody feels like 116 karna is better.
Man.
Maybe they'll keep doing these dodgy decisions till 120, nice round figure.
3 terrible big decisions that have gone against Liverpool. One against that Tottenham game, right? For the dodgy red cards. Then against Arsenal, there was that handball, which they agreed later was a handball by Odegaard in the penalty box. And now this, which was, again, that should have been a penalty, which would have given Liverpool 2 extra points. It's pretty much like 6 points that Liverpool have. By now, Liverpool should be flying away with the title. With the lead, at least. I don't know why I'm asking you guys to note this as if there'll be like a retribution for this later. Because if they lose, they lose. But I did. That was a shit. That was garbage. Which is why.
That was a garbage decision, and Klopp was very, very right to be pissed off about it, and as should all Liverpool fans be, because it does shape the title race in a slightly different way. But what that means is, with this result, Arsenal are now, like I said, top of the table, albeit on goal difference.